doesn't make any sense. This place, this structure, these things, the building is old, but new. A test. But testing who? Testing me? Others? I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense to me that a place such as this should exist. Yes, the dead walk the earth, but they are understandable. It was a contamination. It was science. This is something different. These items, they have properties I have not seen before. Technology then, maybe advanced, more advanced than I could know. Any technology more advanced than the common would be indistinguishable from magic. So it's not magic per se. It's technology, but different, strange, alien even. But why is this place here? Out here, among the swamp, close to a crater. Maybe this was meant to be found. Maybe I'm meant to use them. But for what, I know not. Perhaps there are more of these temples. Perhaps I can gain understanding. Learn. Yes. Learn. Kia ora, guys, gals, and Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Let's Roleplay Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, Bran's Tale. We are back with our man Bran hanging outside of a strange temple, and it was quite a strange temple. Now, thank you to all of you who realized that I still had our thermal dissipation unit turned on at the end of the last episode. Yes, we did use quite a bit of power, but it kind of makes sense to me. Bran was very flustered and wanted to get out of that place sooner rather than later. It was filled with flooding tunnels, flaming hallways, and strange puzzles. It is something that doesn't quite make sense to him. Something that he doesn't understand. And, well, perhaps we'll be able to gain some understanding by discovering more. We're currently in the evening on a cloudy summer evening. We have a whole heap of clay, pebbles, sand, and planks here. Don't think we're going to want to bring any of those along with us. But perhaps that frog that's hanging out down the ways, we might actually be able to do something with. Even if it is just a rudimentary butcher, it'll give us a chance to get some extra food. Let's remind ourselves what we have stashed away in here. An etched human skull, because, I mean, why not? And a few other bits and pieces that we have found in the museums. The museums can have some really interesting items. Very, very interesting items, in fact. And I am beginning to wonder if we can drop off a few more of the items that we have in here. I don't know whether or not we want to keep these artifacts physically on us or not. Yeah, I think we're going to drop them in there for now. We're actually quite close to being over-encumbered, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of a few of these little bits and pieces that we don't necessarily need to have on us. The 12 planks we can actually just go ahead and leave behind. We will bring those with us just in case we needed to build a staircase to get back out, but I'm impressed with how that went, and it wasn't actually that difficult for us to do. So yeah, we're not going to place a plank. I just want to make sure that we're not leaving anything behind per se, and no, it does not seem that we are. So let's go have a look at our froggy friend over here and see if we're able to do anything. We might need daylight to be able to do it, or rather some kind of light. We'll just try and do a basic butchery, really. We'll go for a quick one. And yeah, we can. And we actually did manage to. We had a little bit of issue with this for some reason, but we seem to be okay now. So we've got some chunks of meat, some fat, some other bits and pieces. Did we have a frying pan with us?
I don't think we do. It's probably more than likely back in our vehicle, which is all the way over here, right back down by this little motel. Now today, I think we're going to be exploring further around this swampy region. I'm tempted to head north just to see what might be on the outskirts of Bennington here, but we also have a just massive area here where we could find any number of interesting things out here amongst the swamp. There is a section here which seems to be primarily land, so that makes me intrigued to see what might be there as well. Maybe south first. Yeah, it's always easier to travel through fields rather than swamp. Swamp can be very difficult, as we all know. Okay, well, if we are going to try and cook this thing here so that we can have some extra supplies of foods with us, we're going to need to make ourselves just a little basic fire. To cook by, we have more than enough wood, and we actually already have a pit. So I tell you what we're going to do, we're just going to take some of the meat and chuck it into here. So we'll take all 28 of that, and the rest we don't really need to worry about. So we'll just go drag that on across to here. Now, with this pit being here, the fire shouldn't spread from this place. We might just move this back one square just in case we have anything that's volatile in there. I mean, it's definitely possible. We're going to take 2 of these planks and we're just going to drop them into the pit, like so. We're going to go ahead and activate. Let's see. We do have a mini flamethrower. I think if we go this way here, or we can actually use the flame switch, I think, to... No? We can start a fire with this. Let's just have a look and see if we can see the context menu for that. Start a fire quickly. Okay. We don't. Interesting. We can most certainly start one. It just might be a little bit more intense than we're wanting with a mini flamethrower. Yes, it's probably overkill. Oh, I love the new fire. Very nice. That pit looks too dangerous to mess with. Best to leave it alone. You activate your mini flamethrower. Yes, of course we do. Okay, so that is going to be just contained for now, which is what we want. Let's go into our food. Now, we can make cooked meat. Fantastic. Okay, great. I was thinking we might need to get some something to actually cook it on, but apparently we have something nearby. Good. We can make a whole heap. It's going to take an hour and 56 minutes. I don't know if we'll have enough fire to be able to do that. So what we're going to do instead is we are just going to do one. We are going to, let's see, dispose of our wielded flaming sword. There we go, cooked meat, fantastic. And we're just going to go ahead and repeat that. And just storing that in our inventory. The reason I'm doing that is we don't want to try and cook more than we actually can. And with rain starting to fall, that pit might be going out soon. We'll take as much as we can. And that looks like that's going to be it. Okay, so we managed to get some food out of that. Go ahead and have a few bites to eat. Because hey, we're peckish. Hopefully that will start to diminish. Doesn't seem to be just yet. We're tired as well. Sleeping would be nice. Might be actually worth us trying to see if we can head over to one of these homes and rest the night away. Yeah, before exploring further. The difficult thing about jumping back into Cataclysm is that can't always tell how tired you are. And we might be very tired. We're going to turn that internal climate control off as well. With it being nighttime, I'm imagining we are going to be not super warm. We could actually attempt to sleep outside, but it's not comfortable. Okay, so we still have one more piece of meat at this point. Okay, I'm not so concerned about our food situation at the moment, purely just because we're smart enough and ugly enough to survive off the land. And that's primarily what we'll be doing. But for now, I think we are going to attempt to make it back, and it's going to be a little bit of a pain to do with this. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and skip through until we are at the town. Okay, and here we are, back in Ellington, and we'll see if we can find a moment to survive. That shocker is sure tempting. You know what, I think we are going to acquire them. Try to, at the very least. I'm going to take back out our blade, head outside, get ready to try and take the shocker down. The shocker does seem to be by themselves, so we can probably try and sneak up on it. We are going to get shocked in the process. We'll try not be too scared by that. I could try and use my finger blaster, however I do think it makes a little bit more noise than I would like at this point. We aren't going to activate our flame because we don't want a whole heap of things to see us as well, so we're just going to go ahead and turn on our armor as we move in towards the shocker. There we go, there's that blast. We'll go ahead and start swinging. And it is dead. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. I don't think it had anything on its body that we desperately want. So what we're going to try and do is just shift it onto the square that we're on. And then just start dragging that back into our home. We are going to dissect it. Well, I say our temporary home. Go ahead and turn off our armor. Okay. And let's see if we can find ourselves a bedroom. This might be it here. We'll go ahead and just activate that night vision of ours. Okay, nice little bedroom. Well, we'll go place his body over in the corner, just so that we're not going to have too much trouble with it. Go ahead and grab hold of you. My folded foldertron. Okay. Now, I think we are going to want to turn on our little headlight for this. Honestly, I still don't know if it changes our chance to succeed, but it makes sense to me that we'd want to have light, especially when we are trying to do very delicate surgery. So, we're going to go butcher, and we are going to dissect the corpse. We're starting to get warm. That's okay. Alright, we found an electromagnetic unit, which I believe we already have installed in our body. But we found a power storage CBM as well, so that's not a loss. We'll go ahead and drop both of those into here. Turn that off, and we are going to attempt to have a bit of a sleep. I'll just let that stamina recover. It does seem to recover a little bit slower than normal. That's okay. Alright, Bran. We're ready to have a sleep. We're looking okay. Our interchange is off, the internal furnace is off. We're probably going to get a little warm during the night here, but it's bearable, to say the least. We're going to keep that sword close at hand as well, just in case anything comes a-knocking. And so with that, I will see you all in the morning. Okay, it is nearly 9:30. We have woken up comfortably, and we're feeling pretty good today. We are very thirsty, so that's the first thing that we are going to deal with. Having as much of that as we can, and we'll go ahead and have some cooked meat. Now, I'm thinking we probably have a fair amount of smoked meat still back in our vehicle. However, we're just going to have to get by with what we have right now, which, as you all note, is not a whole heap. Yeah. We've got some chunks of meat still. We could look at getting the rest of those cooked up, and one easy way that we can do that is if we find a stove. So let's see if we can, and we have. Alright, let's just hope we can do this without being spotted. Duck down here, close it up. What do we have there? Ammonia, I see. And we actually have a pot here as well. Now, use CBM to start fire. We'll need a source. So we can start a fire, but we want to start a fire in the oven. We also do need to provide some fuel in the way of wood. So we'll go ahead and just assemble this here. It's going to take us 20 minutes for us to do that. That's okay. Oh, why do we not seem to be able to do that? Deconstruct furniture. And we just keep on moving in that direction. That's intriguing. Oh, it's too dark. Thank you. Thank you for instructing me. Alright, we do actually need to see. Makes sense. That's fine. And we'll just go with being warm for now. I gotta think that we're gonna be okay with the amount of light coming through. If we stand just a little bit further off on the side, I'm just trying to get like the most narrow view possible for something on the outside to be able to see us. So with that, let's go ahead and transfer some of the wood into the oven. We've got 3 planks and a wooden panel, 3 planks should be more than enough for us to achieve this. We're going to look over to here, and we're going to use the CBM to start a fire. Now, we just need to make sure that that isn't going to go out. Yep, it looks like it's going to burn for about 30 minutes, but it might go out sooner. So that does give us an estimate to work with. We're just going to back off by 1 square. We might even be able to go all the way back to here into the shadow. Although, in saying that, we do need to see to be able to cook, so it might... Yeah, so we're going to be slow. 94%. That's still pretty quick. Okay, so let's see how much we can do within half an hour. Oh, not much at all. Yeah, that is really quite slow. So let's see if there is much of a change there with that. Go back across to our food again, to our cooked meat. And looking at batch cooking, it's actually pretty much exactly the same. So we're only going to get about 30 minutes worth of cooking time here, which really isn't that much. And now that I'm thinking about it, cooking meat for 30 minutes... that's going to be, like, blackened. But then the heat transfer isn't going to be as efficient right now, I got to imagine. But generally, when I cook my steaks, I don't cook them for half an hour. Although this could be more like oven baking, right? Because that's kind of what we're doing. We've started a fire in here. It says it will burn for about 2 hours. Oh, okay. It totally lied to us. Well, we can keep on doing it in these 20-minute chunks. Doing our chunks of meat. Our torso aches. Okay, that's not great. Torso's aching, but probably because we are quite warm. Yeah, so let's back off into the corner again. We shouldn't be as warm here. That, or we can just go ahead and turn on our internal climate control and just bear the burden of us, you know, dealing with that. That's fine. We'll go ahead and store that away and just keep on working on getting us a little bit of food here. Now, if we get too much, it's not really going to help us out. So let's eat what we have for now. We'll eat the 2 that are in our hand. Okay. And we'll see if we can work on a little bit more. Dispose. Keep on working. Okay. Now, these are probably only going to last for about 3 days tops before they really start to go. So we don't want to spend too much time working on them, because then we kind of start to just lose out. But I'm pretty happy with that amount, and I think that we will actually keep those in our inventory as well. So we'll go ahead and wield our blade yet again, and, well, I don't know if we can extinguish the flame here, but it's not going to last for all that much longer. We actually have some curry up here as well. Nice. So, with our power being how it is, I would like to increase it. I don't know if we've leached off these vehicles yet or not, but we can have a look. Okay, we have spotted a Z. Let's see, 0 battery power, but they do have some clean water. Okay, so nicely, we can actually see a red exclamation mark above the zombie over here, which means, I assume, that it is hostile and it's aware of us. There we go. For 93 damage, we send it reeling backwards. Telescoping umbrella isn't a bad tool to have, but it can still take up unnecessary amounts of space. Really, the mood debuff that you get from being wet isn't all that bad. I'm going to dive into this real quick and see if we can pick up some water. Not before we deal with our friend, though. Alright. And so, yes, some of you will notice that I'm not actually dealing with the corpses. We don't plan on staying here for too long. We're going to go have a drink until we are feeling really good. We're hydrated, fantastic, and we'll go fill our container with water. Brilliant. Out we go, Bran, out we go. Alright, so if there's no power here, we might just have to have a little bit of a munch. Nope, no power here. Okay, not sure if we can drink gasoline just yet, but we're going to go ahead and turn on our internal furnace and see what we can get from the things around us. Do we get anything really from... No. Actually nothing on the ground, so we can't eat steel, which would be great if we could, because I imagine there would be a fair amount of energy in there, although to actually melt it takes a fair amount of energy as well, so yeah, I can see that being a thing. Apparently nothing around there that we can consume. Anything on this person's body? Surely we can eat some of that stuff. Doesn't look like we can. Have I? No, I have definitely turned on the internal furnace instead of the metabolic interchange by accident. Yeah, I don't see anything that's on the floor. That is interesting. And, I mean, a little concerning, but we still have a fair amount of power. So I'm not all that afraid. The direction that we're probably going to want to try and go in. What's the S over here? Oh, this strange temple. Okay, I have marked it as explored. We're probably going to try and shoot right for that position there. And the forest, surprisingly, is probably going to be a little bit easier than the swamp. We'll see how we go. And generally, I'm going to be sticking probably around about this kind of sight range. We'll see if that works out for us. Navigating through this is going to be a little bit of a pain, and so to spare you that pain, we're going to shoot until we're actually through this section of the forest. Okay, I've just brought you back for a second. Just in an interesting place here. We have spotted a fat zombie, but what's kind of more interesting to me is just this little grove. You know, it's not unusual, but it is a little strange. We have some rubble, which we might be able to try and dig up. I believe we do have the tools necessary to do it, and so it might be worth us doing. We've also got these mounds. Yeah, it's just a little strange. Also, it's just this kind of wide open space here. We're going to let that zombie run towards us, and we'll see if we can deal with it. We do have a giant wasp and a wolf spider nearby, so not super happy about them either. But that is that one dealt with. Okay, methamphetamine. We're not going to need it for now, Bran. Do we have... Oh, right. No, we do have the excavating tool with us, but there was nothing beneath that rubble. And over here? Nothing. What about the mound? I have no seeds to plant, so it is just a regular mound. Interesting. Okay, well, we are close, and hey, look at that. Another crater. We can see in the distance. Very interesting. Something else that I've been informed of is height actually does make a difference when it comes to scouting. So if we find any office towers, it might be worth us clambering on top of them to see what we can see. So let's go ahead and continue until we reach the edge of the forest. Okay, we are through the worst of it. Out in this open area, and we can see so much further. As soon as we get outside those trees, you can just see that the area has entirely opened up for us. And we have another crater site. It seems like this swamp area was hit really bad by something. So let's just head a little bit further south and see if we can see what's going on. I would kind of want to check out here as well. Let's head to the east first and just see what we can make out. I'm going to go back and check that map. Okay, so we can see that this is the crater site over here. Alright, nothing strange around there, other than obviously the crater itself. I imagine that dragging this car across all of this is a little difficult, and hey, would you look at that, we have ourselves a crashed helicopter. This could be exactly what we were looking for. There is a chance that there could be a reactor within this thing. This is an Apache wreckage, so if we were to try and dig out parts of this thing, we might have a really good time. We can also see that there is a mounted minigun on here. Yeah, that's a thing. Let's just go through and see what we can actually find on this thing. It's going to be a little weirdly placed because obviously everything's kind of just stuck into itself. But we'll just see if there's anything intriguing. We do have a military black box that's there. Composite armor plating. We've got some storage batteries. Obviously no charge, not surprised. And that's the minigun. I gotta say, I'm really half tempted to grab that. There is also a gas turbine engine. Imagine if we put that onto a vehicle, it could be... I imagine it'd have a pretty good output. Yeah, I think there's two actually. Yeah, two of the engines. Nice. Wow, when we eventually get flying machines in this, that'd be interesting. We're going to go ahead and take the minigun. I think we should be able to remove it. Only about 30 seconds for us to be able to remove it, and that's pretty good. And there is actually some ammunition here for it, so let's go get items on the ground. 308 rounds. Nice, not bad. We'll go ahead and drag this over towards our cart, and we're going to consider taking this with us, because why not? It does take up a little bit of space, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and drop that in there, and we can have a little bit of a dig around to see what we can find among the wreckage here. There is a chance that there could be other things beneath these steel, but generally if it's something that's different, it's going to come to the surface. So we'll hope that's going to be the case. And seeing as this is a little bit of a rudimentary task, we're going to go ahead and fast forward on through this as well. Okay, so that's all of that. Now I would imagine that there's a chance that there would be something underneath of here. But getting to that is going to be a little bit more difficult. We'd have to start removing frames. What we can do is jump inside here and see what this is on the ground. It's an MP3 player. Yeah, sure, we'll take it. That can actually help improve our mood quite a bit, but yeah, having a look at this, it's a whole heap of chunks of steel, scrap metal. It's not a bad find, and we'll actually go ahead and mark it on the map. Helicopter. Just so that we know that there is one there. Should we have any other need to go back, perhaps to collect a black box or something like that, but right now we don't have any need for that. We're going to continue heading south along here. I'm tempted to try and bridge this little forest gap eventually, but for now we're just going to keep on heading down, occasionally checking our map. We are getting close to this crash site. Well, crater site rather. And we have a moose that's hanging about as well. Could be causing a little bit of trouble, but it seems to be ignoring us for now. And that might be changing. We see that's the yellow exclamation mark, so it's kind of aware of us, but it's not charging us. That's good. But we do have a zombie, however, and we have something else over to our east. If we're having a look on the map, let's start heading towards whatever that is. And it's another one of these strange growths, or rather lack of growth. It looks strange on the minimap, and in person it's just a whole heap of, dead ground. I wonder if we could dig a pit there. Or we could just try and remove the grass. It's peculiar. Maybe it's just a natural occurrence. Still, there's something a little unsettling about it. We shall leave it for now. There's a cattle dog. Wow, okay. We have a whole heap of zombie dogs, just a pack of them. And I think they actually just attacked and killed a cattle dog. Yep, they did indeed. Well, okay. That's a thing. And what do we have here? A beehive. Well, that's a chance for us to get something a little rare. Royal jelly. However, it's a beehive, and bees can be difficult. However, I think that will be worth us investigating as Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me. Well, that was a zombie dog that came out of nowhere. Luckily, Bran was paying attention. As I was going to say, bees are tied into nature quite heavily. And seeing a structure as large as this, I think would pique the interest of Bran. As this is a absolutely gigantic beehive. Massive, absolutely massive. Larger than many of the homes around here. Larger than the motel that he stayed at. So, yeah, I think it warrants a bit of investigation. There is a zombie child nearby, okay, and we can see it stumbling towards us. Alright, we'll go ahead and deal with it. We feel remorse. At least we still feel remorse. I guess that's something. Onwards we go. Okay. We can see the full extent of this beehive. And we're seeing the first of the giant bees. little concerned about giant bees. We can actually see the outside of this. Now, this is a chance to acquire a very large amount of, meat. Insect meat. What was this? It was a hazmat zombie at one point. Yeah. Okay. Are the bees going to be hostile towards us? Well, no doubt they will be, and yeah, they're actually hostile right now. Okay. Well, Bran, I do think this warrants a proper search, and what we're going to do to prepare for this is we're actually going to go and start dropping a whole heap of our things into here. So we're going to go and drop the rucksack and anything that we can't keep with us that might fall onto the ground. Actually, we put several items, so I think we might have put some other things in there as well. We still have our backup weapon. Okay. Alright, I'm good with that. We'll go ahead and keep a hold of this, and we will just start to move towards these bees, who, while hostile, aren't attacking us right now. There we go, and that changes in an instant. As this one starts buzzing towards us, we swing out and kill it in one hit, sending the bee reeling backwards. Let's see, there's a bee sting on the ground, and a mangled bee corpse. So, when we get a good strike in, it seems we can take them down, but oh wow, we have most certainly angered the hive. We still have quite a bit of power, so activating our offensive-defensive system might work out for us here. We're going to go ahead and yell and see if we can catch her attention, but our voice is muffled because of our helmet, and we might have to go and activate the suit before we try to make it any further. Looks like we might have an entrance over here. Look, we aren't going to antagonize them. If we can make it in without fighting them, we'll do that. What do we have over here? Scarred zombie corpse, and it looks like there are a few of them. Well, Bran, this is most certainly a intriguing place. Yes, there is a way in down there. Okay, well, let's keep on moving forwards, and here we go. They are on us, so we're going to go ahead and activate the armor. And we're dodging from side to side. We swing where we can. Some more difficult than others to hit. We shock those around us and leave them dead. Turn that armor off. Okay, we got some more coming our way. And I think that might be a beekeeper's... Yeah, so it would seem that this was a bee farm once before, but no longer. It belongs to the bees. And should things get really hairy, we'll go ahead and activate our sword, but right now, I don't think we need to. Well, we'll see, huh? It's pretty quick for us to activate our suit, so I'm not so worried about that. But here we are inside. We do have these scarred zombies. Now, the scarred zombies, I'm imagining, were once the beekeepers here. Scarred because of the number of stings that have come their way. Let's get the stamina back, huh? Lots of heavy breathing going on. More than we like. And we've spotted a giant bee. And it has spotted us. Here we go. We have another way in down here. Come on, here we go. We've got some honeycomb. Let's activate that suit. Quick work, Bran, quick work. It does seem to be rather exhausting though. It's probably because we are hauling a fair amount in this cart as well. Let's hope the other bees just leave us alone for now. There we go, that's better. Get that stamina back, Bran. Good. Okay, let's see. Honeycomb. We are going to go ahead and take you. Right, we might have to bash our way into some of these rooms. No, there are ways in. It looks like there's a way in from the outside there. We might even be able to, slip through. Okay, we have just one over there. Right. We do want to attempt to clear the place, although I wouldn't mind keeping some of them alive, because this hive could be a good source of food one day. Not just for us, but for others. Okay, what do we have over here? Beekeeping gloves. I see. And yes, a beekeeping suit. And a kilt. Because if you're Scottish, you have to wear your kilt, even if you're going to work at the beehives. It's a rule. Okay. Let's deactivate that suit. Let's keep on wandering around. We're definitely keeping the interest of these bees. What I'm looking for in here is something called royal jelly. It's a little bit harder to find. We're going to go ahead and whack this tree down. But there should be some in here. Come on, bees. Make your way if you would please. Okay. More bodies. And more breathing. Oh, hello. Alright, suits on. There we go. Lots over here. Moving on up. Yeah, I gotta think it's pulling the cart that's making us so tired while fighting. Come on then. Alright, time to rest. It looks like it might be a machete. Wow, it takes quite a while to get that stamina back now. Quite a while. And we're definitely walking, we're not crawling or anything silly like that. Yeah, strange. Stranger still, these bees keep on appearing. And I think they will for a while. That is definitely a machete, is it not? Alright, turn that suit off. No, it's a honey scraper. I see. It is a butchering tool. Kind of glad that none of these beekeepers are rising back up. But the bees most certainly are. We've made it through most of this place so far. The bees are just dropping, yep, corpses and stingers. Okay. Wow, this is larger than I would have thought. We have some more honeycomb in here, and there we go. We have a pretty neat item. Over this way here. Now, I don't know if there is a queen here, but we do have royal jelly. It's translucent. It's a hexagonal chunk of wax filled with dense, milky jelly, delicious and rich with the most beneficial substances that the hive can produce. Very nice. Why, thank you. We've got quite a lot of blood down here, more blood than I would like. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? It speaks. We hear Apis saying, "Watch out for that maniac. Time to die. It's heading right for us." What are you? We can see, I think this is a mutated NPC. They have antennae, spiked tails, mandibles, insect arms, and chitinous plate. Apis. Yeah, this is an NPC. This is the first person we've discovered out here in the world. And I feel like this really falls into Bran's theory that to survive, you must adapt, you must change. The people that he found at the refugee center, Rena included, were stuck in the old ways, unable to change, clinging to each other to survive on a life raft amid an ocean of chaos. Yet here we have two individuals, one surviving through technology and the other through mutation, a kind of technology in and of itself. But while Bran has gone the bionic route, Apis here went a different way. And I don't think Bran's going to take any chances here. We're going to go ahead and we've released the folded Foldatron. We're going to go ahead and activate our armor, and we're going to go ahead and turn this flaming sword on. It roars to life. Apis stands in front of us. We're going to go ahead and call out to Apis. But Apis does not respond. It runs towards us. Bran, with his flaming sword in hand, lashes it out towards Apis. A lot happened in a moment there. Let's have a look and see exactly what did happen. Our torso encumbrance throws us off balance. We swing wildly and miss. We block damage. Apis hits us, but does no damage. Again and again and again, this ant-like creature strikes out towards us, but we block with our flaming sword. Let's just check on that torso encumbrance. It's not all that bad. Well, how about we go take things up to another level? This isn't even our final form, Apis. We're going to go ahead and activate those hydraulic muscles. They hiss into life as we swing out towards Apis. We block. Apis actually attempts to block. We're cutting off one of its mandibles. 46 damage. We shock and burn Apis at the same time. Apis attacks 3 times but misses. We attack again, smashing Apis into the ground. It tries to block. It tries but fails. Again, we try to strike but find no purchase. Okay. We're starting to tire as we continue to attack. We swing and miss. Moving around each other quickly, the two combatants slowly begin to tire. Apis still seeming to be feeling okay. Okay. Well, our power's starting to get lower. We're gonna have to deactivate those hydraulic muscles. Let's go turn on that offensive-defensive system and see if we can get some assistance there. This creature is fast, perhaps too fast for Bran. Our torso encumbrance is looking okay. Let's keep on going. There we go. Our offensive-defensive system shocks Apis in mid-attack. Okay. Apis hits but does no damage, unable to make it through our thick armor. There we go. Let's see if we can move to the side here. We do. This is incredible. Apis, while injured, has been so difficult for us to attack. Our power is running low. Oh, there we go. And even though Apis was holding out, all it took was one really good strike. I think it was the offensive-defensive system that did it there in the end. We couldn't do damage. We weren't hitting. If you have a look up here, we weren't getting through that chitinous hide. No, we were swinging and missing. Radiation weakens you. Oh no. Oh no. Radiation weakens you. We're seeing that multiple times. Oh dear, we are irradiated. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and deactivate these things quickly. We're going to go ahead and turn off our offensive-defensive system. Deactivate our suit. And turn off our sword. We need to breathe in some deep breaths. This creature might have been radioactive, emitting radiation from its body. We didn't notice, not until now. Interesting that we would find someone like that here. And Bran could definitely tell the hostility that was there. We're going to use our integrated dosimeter. We can see that our radiation level is 2. Now, I'm pretty sure we are going to be able to purge that. We have our radiation scrubbing system, and I believe we should be feeling better after activating that. Now, we are much lower. Much lower on power. We definitely need to do something about that. We'll let that bee come towards us first of all. If it can make it past our cart. Actually, I don't think it can. I don't think it can pass through that. Well, that's great. Little cart is actually helping us out. But we need to understand who Apis was, what Apis was. We're going to go ahead and dissect this body. We're going to go drag it out into the light, and we're going to have to go to work, but we're going to make sure that we're not going to be interrupted by any bees. We seem to be okay. There we go. Maybe not. Now, I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, so interestingly enough, we were just really struggling to hit, even with a torso encumbrance that wasn't all that bad. I mean, that was surprising. Our melee skill is 6, which is pretty good. Our cutting weapons is 7. Again, this is all pretty decent, but when you're up against a creature like that has been surviving out here as long as Bran has, it has also developed its own techniques to survive. We're going to go ahead and butcher this human, dissecting. Would you dare desecrate the mortal remains of a fellow human being? Yes. Yes, we would. Even if it will upset us, we must. The bee is dangerously close. Stop dissecting. Yes. We will continue our work. Damn these bees. This will haunt you in your dreams. I'm sure it will. And what I'm afraid of is each time that we do this, we're effectively doing it again. We're not in the mood. Yes, no, we are not. We are sad. We are sad that we had to kill something. I think Bran would admire this creature. We place music in our ears. We try to focus, try to understand what it is we have fought. We think of Rena, back in the lab, back home. We let the music fill our ears, but we are not in a great mood. I can tell you that right now. Oh yeah, anguished by memories of butchering a human corpse, 100%. Yeah, that's a lot. That's minus 70. So, we're not going to be able to do anything with that anytime soon, but we're going to go ahead and grab this, and we're going to take these remains and place them into here. We're going to take up quite a bit of space, but we're going to carry Apis with us. Hang on a second. Oh, that was a damaged bee corpse. Wait, what? Did I really put a damaged bee corpse in here? Yes, I did. There it is, damaged bee corpse. Okay. Apis. There we go. That's much closer to being a full cart now. Okay, well, we're going to keep that music in our ears to kind of offset the negative thoughts that we're having, and it's going to make it a little bit harder for us to see, or rather be aware of enemies. So we need to be a little bit cautious here. And I gotta admit, I'm a bit surprised that, oh, well, they do actually have honeycombs on them. I probably should have checked that. I'm surprised that our internal furnace isn't picking up things that are on the ground, and now it does seem to be able to do that. Okay, alright. Well, we're not really getting much from them at all, as you can see, but we'll go ahead and devour what we can. Yeah. If only we could consume an entire bee corpse to power ourselves, So this is actually the center of the hive, which is where I was anticipating finding something, just wasn't anticipating finding another human, if you can even use that word. And that is a beekeeping suit, okay. Alright, grab the honeycomb. Thank you. Stay moving, Bran. One step at a time. Yeah, I think the sadness really does sit well with how I imagine Bran's mental state right now. I think before he had to activate a suit and bring his, blade of flame, I think he was almost marveling at the creature. Something different, something unusual, something unknown to him. Something beautiful. Something he had to destroy so that he might survive. And we are getting a fair amount of royal jelly here. More than I could have hoped for. Well, NPCs do exist. I was beginning to think that, for whatever reason, they just weren't appearing on the map. Field campsite. I wonder if that could have belonged to Apis. We can investigate that. Maybe this place was almost a home to Apis. Maybe. Let's go drop those honeycombs in there. Go ahead and pick up this one here. Get that back. And not to worry about power, I will take extreme measures if necessary. Alright, come on, Bran. You're all good, buddy. Grab away. Yes, please. Damn, we got a lot here. Well, I kind of wasn't thinking that we'd explore the entire place here, but in saying that, just finding Apis has kind of changed things. I want to see more of this place now. I think Bran is hoping that there might be more like him here, that maybe he is some kind of a product of this place. Maybe. He needs to understand. He wants to know how it works. Okay. Nothing that way. Just more honeycomb. Could be worse. Ooh, okay, that person is different. I think that might be a child, quite possibly. It was a child. Alright, deep breaths. Now, I guess my next question is, were these workers here working on regular, normal hives, or were they working on this giant hive? Because the giant insects would have been around for a little while before the fall of everything. So perhaps they were trying to utilize this place before, well, the world fell apart. Lots of things for us to ponder from this episode. That's what I love about Cataclysm, is that you're going to get moments that you don't anticipate or expect, and sometimes things are going to make no sense. But other times we can make a lot of sense from things. And I gotta say, I think we have explored this place enough at this point. We want to make sure that we do leave some of it intact so that it might be able to bounce back and continue producing. But we also need to survive. So let's make sure that we do. There we go. Leave our suit powered up for now. Alright. Seems there's quite a few bees on this side. Yeah. Quite a few. Okay, deep breaths. Let's move out towards them. There we go. Okay. We'll move further away and then we'll rest. There we go. Let's just plop ourselves down next to this decaying zombie as we attempt to catch our breath back. That field campsite isn't too far from here. We can make it if we try. Bran sits for a time in the grass, looking at the decaying form next to him, seeing the power on his arm, his readout display slowly tick down, and he continues to listen to music. Historical slow tango and a little bit of dramatic classical music. Fly to the bumblebees. And we shall continue up towards this field camp that Bran's been able to spy with his binoculars. We'll see what remains. There is a bike. there were people here. One of the bikes is still active. There's still battery, a little bit of charge. The motorcycle is not owned. This one's still running, a little bit of gas left in the tank. Could this have been Apis? A lot of tents for just one person. A discarded box of food? No, biscuits, and there is still some food in them. Interesting. Fold-out tables that can be used when butchering. Not a bad item to have, and that engine has finally fallen silent. Very interesting. If Apis was based out here, in and amongst these tents, maybe Apis wasn't alone. Or maybe Apis just found it, was coming along. See, I believe these tents belonged to the beekeepers. They must have been camping out here for a time while working on the hive. Perhaps they weren't just keepers. Perhaps they did originate from labs, and they were hoping to study this new structure, this new hive that had formed just to the north of Hingham. Maybe. To our east, we have a tower that stands above the trees, but it's not made by man. It is a different kind of structure altogether. Something again that Bran might want to come to understand. He has seen some strange occurrences around fungal creatures and the like. Down deep in a lab where tendrils were stretching out across the ground, he found a portal, a rift, a gap in space-time that shouldn't exist. Something that he decided to not walk into. He instead decided to stay further away from it and actually ignite the place, burning all of the spread of fungalness. Perhaps we could investigate that place as well. It would lead us back around towards our vehicle that we had up there, our temporary vehicle. Would mean that we have explored this area quite a bit more, coming to know the strange oddities that are around here interspersed throughout Megacity 1. But this whole region here, this whole swamp region, seems to be full of weird occurrences. And so we're going to continue to explore around the outside of it, eventually making our way towards the fungal tower in the distance. But for now, that is where we're going to be ending today's episode. As Bran sits here, with music blasting through his ears, he looks at the cart in front of him, and there remains the corpse of Apis, the first human he has met, out here, surviving in the world, surviving because of their adaptation. With his sword resting against him, he sits and contemplates, and thinks about what the future of mankind will look like. Will it be him, or will it be Apis? That is the mystery that remains. But for now, I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned. And to wrap up today's episode, we have some new fan art, this time a submission from Dedrick on the Discord. Here we have Bran wielding his flaming blade with a number of goodies all across him. Now the style that Dedrick has used to create this image is a really interesting one, compositing a number of different elements, eventuating in a very freaking cool image. And I do like the idea of Bran how he is now. Yes, he did lose his hair because of an update, and I chose not to debug him in a beard and some hair. Him losing his hair felt like a natural progression throughout his changes. As he became less and less human and more machine, the elements that identified him as such disappeared with the rest. But thank you, Dedrick, very much for your art. If you have art of your own to submit, please do join us on the Discord. Alternatively, flick it to me on Facebook and or Twitter. And finally, I'd like to extend a great big thank you to our Legion on Patreon, who continue to make this content possible.